ESL live stream is here, in solid ground. Mike and Stu, the dynamic duo inside, helping teachers with English day and night. With their smooth vocals and their peaceful flow, they spread good vibes everywhere they go. From Kingston to Tokyo, they're making it known. English class just got a brand new tone. ESL live stream, helping you teach with ease. Mike and Stu, bringing that reggae breeze. Soulful vocals, taking you to paradise. Learning English has never felt so nice. ESL live stream, helping you teach with ease. Mike and Stu, bringing that reggae breeze. Soulful vocals, taking you to paradise. Learning English has never felt so nice. Listen up, teachers, gather all around. ESL live stream is here, in solid ground. Mike and Stu, the dynamic duo inside, helping teachers with English day and night. With their smooth vocals and their peaceful flow, they spread good vibes everywhere they go. From Kingston to Tokyo, they're making it known. English class just got a brand new tone. ESL live stream, helping you teach with ease. Mike and Stu, bringing that reggae breeze. Soulful vocals, taking you to paradise. Learning English has never felt so nice. ESL live stream, helping you teach with ease. Mike and Stu, bringing that reggae breeze. Soulful vocals, taking you to paradise. Learning English has never felt so nice. Wave goodbye, class done right. ESL live stream, teach day and night. Keep the rhythm, hold the pace. English learning's found its place.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. It's the ESL live stream. Today, we're going to be talking about mastering business English, but unfortunately, Serena is not going to be able to make it because she's got, last minute emergency. But, it's understandable. That's the life, things happen. That's not cool. But Stu is here, so it's going to be good fun anyway. So here we go. We're going to welcome. Yes, we're going to go right into that little rock and roll. See you. Welcome. And right after that. everyone. Good evening. Here, it's the evening in China where every Sunday night, 9 p.m., the ESL live stream is on. Today, we're going to be talking about mastering business English. Thank you so much for being here. If you're following on Instagram, thank you, all of you on Instagram. Feel free to leave your questions on TikTok as well. We're live in so many other platforms. Obviously, YouTube, the biggest community is there. Thank you so much for being here today. Unfortunately, Sharina is not gonna be able to make it, but Stu is here, and it's been a long time. We didn't do a live with Stu. You know, it's the end of the year, of the school year. Everybody gets busy. That's May, the June now, Mike. And you know, summer is right around the corner. Hope you like that little song, the reggae music. It's always good vibes here on the ESL live stream. And let's welcome Stu from TEFL.
And now let's welcome the co-host of the ESL live stream, Stuart Allen from TEFL Lemon.
Hey, Stu, how
Hey,
are you doing?
how's it been going? I haven't seen you for ages.
Yes, that's true. Your bear is getting,
It is.
longer and longer, huh?
Yeah, it'll be like Father Christmas by December, and also it's going grey a bit, so I might look like the real Father Christmas by the end of this year, but hopefully not. Wow, blimey, I can't believe it's June already, right? Like, where's this year going? Like, I remember like January kind of like went really fast, and February was super slow. I turn around, it's June already. Ooh, Mike's so bewildered by June. I think we've lost him. I can't hear you, Mike. So, well, I'm not too sure if I can't hear you, Mike, or you can't hear me. So yeah, just let us know in the comments. I think I've got a feeling that we've lost Mike, but it's okay. I'm very comfortable to fill in, no problem. I'm your new host on the ESL live stream. Mike will no longer be here. And no, I'm sure that Mike will be back in a minute. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about business English. Now, we were meant to have a special guest, Sharina Smith, who's really experienced about business English. She's written ebooks about business English and different approaches and stuff like that. But unfortunately, she just messaged about half an hour ago. She said, I'm really sorry, I'm not going to be able to make it. Something kind of happened yesterday here, like a family issue. So it's okay. Perhaps we can get her on a bit later on in the year. But yeah, we're going to be talking today about business English. And for many, we start doing TEFL. We do our TEFL training, and literally there's barely any TEFL courses or TESOL courses that have business English as a main module. You've got like general teaching speaking or teaching grammar, using supplementary materials, teaching listening and the receptive skills, but not many TEFL and TESOL courses have this as a compulsory module. And there's a good reason for that. It's quite a specialist topic. Most TEFL teachers that go into teaching don't do that. as particularly not straight away. Normally a business or someone who is in business will probably look for someone a bit more experienced in order to help them, because it's very important for them. So TEFL courses and TESOL courses don't kind of traditionally have them on as part of the main module. So what happens is lots of people go into teaching. Maybe you're teaching a middle school years, or you'll be teaching elementary or kindergarten or university, whatever, or within a language academy in a high street or a shopping mall. But you won't really be teaching business English straight away. So what happens? You get given by the director of studies or your boss, you get given these classes, or someone in business approaches you and says, look, you know, I need some business English lessons. I don't really know what to do. So often this can be quite daunting for teachers because they've had no training. They don't know any of the approaches. They don't know business themselves, which can be quite worrying, but you don't have to be worried about that, because that isn't important actually. And we can talk about that a bit later on in this live stream. Let me just check in with Mike. Mike, do we have you back yet?
Yeah, I'm here. I think you can hear me now.
Welcome back. Yeah, so I was just talking about look, business English isn't normally on any modules or on a TEFL course, because most TEFL teachers don't go into it as new teachers. You'll go into like you know, primary schools, middle schools, a language academy, but you won't really go into business as a first module. And so look, when you do get offered business course, business students, it can be quite daunting because you've had no training and you don't really know what to do. So hopefully this live stream can help giving you ideas and giving teachers confidence about teaching business, and B, knowing what to teach and how to hit student needs.
True, because you know, I've never taught business English, and well, of course, with the experience, you can try to, I mean, you figure it out pretty much, but it sounds a little bit tricky, right? I mean, because business English, what is the difference? For example, I'm an ESL teacher, and if someone's, you know, sometimes you have some part-time job, or people wants, hey, you speak English, can you teach me business English?
Yeah.
So how would you maybe start, or is there any special curriculum for that?
Yeah, so you
has
get
questions to-
you do get business English textbooks that are specifically written for business English needs. So these textbooks will cover things like how to write an email properly in English, or what to do in a meeting, or if you go abroad, kind of like cultural differences when you go abroad. Like, for example, if you're from France or from America, or, you know, wherever, and you go to China to do business, small things like, you know, a Chinese business person would hand the business card with two hands. So you get lots of culture involved as well.
Yes,
I just took the business card one-handed, and someone later said, actually, no, you shouldn't do that. That's really rude. You need to, oh, thank you very much, you know. So you get these cultural, and it's important that you're doing business, right? It could be the difference between getting the deal and losing the deal. Yeah, so you do get really quite good textbooks. Some are better than others, like any textbook. Market Leader is good. There's a book called Market Leader, and they go all the way from elementary all the way up to like C2 on the CEFR. They've got different textbooks, but there's one-to-one. That's another good one for business English. Quite often, if you're doing business English, it's like you could be doing one-to-one, because you might have someone in middle management or senior management that just wants to get better, and they're doing it out of their own dollar, or maybe their company is given a bit of money to help, you know, but they don't want the whole company to do it, just one person. So quite often it's one-to-one as well.
Yeah. I got another question because, well, obviously I missed a little bit the beginning. I've seen yeah, microphone had a little problem, but yeah, what would be the how to say, the diploma or qualifications that I would need if I wanted to turn maybe as teaching business?
Well, there are some specialized courses, business English courses. Normally these are just like kind of like 50-hour courses. Quite often they're not accredited, because getting a course accredited is super expensive. Actually, it really is expensive, and it's very time consuming. You have to submit a lot of documentation, and when you're running a TEFL company, you just really don't have the time quite often and quite honestly to go through the accreditation. It's like, you know, so you might be offered a course, like a 50-hour course, and again, it will run through things, you know, like how to teach specialist language. So let's say you're working with a trade company, you might have vocabulary in there to do with trade, but actually anyone that's an experienced TEFL teacher, even after 6 months or a year, can take these on, really. There's no real difference. And a big misconception is that you need to be experienced in business. I don't know anything about business. I don't know anything about trade. I mean, I don't, but I've taught business English 1,000 times, you know. It's just like teaching normal communication skills, choosing relevant vocabulary for the business person that they're going to actually need. So that's something we can talk about as well, you know, doing like needs analysis and stuff like that.
Yeah, because you've been teaching business English for ages, right?
Yeah. I mean, my own story. I've talked about this in my TESOL course. You know, when I wrote the TESOL course, I tried to write it like, you know, giving personal experience, teacher to teacher. So basically, I worked for a school in Xi'an. You know it, it's EF. I worked for EF for 7 years, and before EF started to specialize, so they, after a few years after I had joined, the school split. So either you taught kids or you taught adults, and if you taught adults, you were at a different center and you never taught kids. It was like, you know. But when I joined, we taught everything. So I was sent to kindergartens, I was sent to public schools, anyone who wanted English courses, students, you know. And in Xi'an, I first started teaching a pharmaceutical company. So every Thursday afternoon, I'd go there for 3 hours and I'd teach this pharmaceutical company. They make basically it's Johnson & Johnson. And I would go there, you know, I was really nervous, you know, I don't know anything about business. I don't know what to do, help. I was quite young. I was about 25. But they were great, you know, they were all the professional people. They were, you know, they were funny people. And I was given a room within Johnson & Johnson. This training room had a big, like a flip board, some markers. You know, we had audio, so I could do like MP3. And basically I said, you know, what do you want from me? And they were like, right. Yeah, this is the thing. You know, I said, you know, what do you want from me? And they were like, right, this is the problem. Every week we have to have an online meeting with our Johnson & Johnson in America. They can't speak Chinese. So the whole meeting is in English. and we feel stupid because we can't understand what they're saying. They ask us a question, we answer a different question. Everyone's, you know, loose face. But these were really professional people, right? They were all, you know, had PhDs. You know, they knew their stuff, but they couldn't really do it in English. So they said, like, basically, we need to be able to improve our listening skills. We need to understand like key phrases and key vocabulary to do with our industry, with pharmaceutical companies, how to pronounce it properly without, you know, making a real big mess of it. So I was using a textbook as the main structure, but I was kind of tweaking the course towards the learner needs of that particular company. So we were instead of focusing on the vocabulary in the textbook, I just substituted it with vocabulary needs, you know, medicines, pharmaceutical, chemicals, processes, you know, whatever. And then we would learn that vocabulary, practice how to pronounce it, set up role plays, and have like kind of pretend kind of meetings. And after a few weeks and months, they felt much more comfortable in able to have this weekly meeting, and they were able to, you know, understand what the Americans were saying better and give better responses in a far more kind of, you know, professional way.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me remember, because when you were mentioning that about this experience of yours, and I remember as well in Xi'an, I had a company CEO from a hotel. He said, "I want you to train my employees to speak English." So it was like, I felt just like you, big questions, you know, like, what do you want from me, you know?
Yeah.
And then I arrive in that big room with, you would have the cleaning ladies, you would have the, you know, all the staff of the hotel,
Yeah.
and their English level are completely different. And then, so the first time was quite pretty tough, because you don't know, you can guess what you're going to teach, right, to a certain, maybe certain kind of employee, right?
Yeah.
So I just started with the first day. I just started because I had no idea what was coming up. I just started with basic English, you know, self-introduction, to see if everybody was able to speak. That was my worries, you know, who
Mm.
would have great English and who that can help me in the classroom, you know, just like in a normal classroom. But so that make me that your experience make me remember that, because it wasn't really teaching business. It was just more teaching hospitality, right?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
a hotel. So, but it's all for business, right?
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
hotel,
Absolutely.
obviously, is a business.
Yeah,
So
hospitality
that's
English
great.
is a huge thing, you know, and you can also get qualified in hospitality English as well. And a lot of people specialize in hospitality English. You know, they work for hotel chains, they travel around, and they do online seminars. Their whole career is hospitality. So what did you do, Mike, when you first went into the room and you were faced with, you know, you've got like, you know, like silver service, you've got concierge, you've got people who change the beds. So what did you do?
No, what I did is just I went, because what they asked me after that, I think I went there like 2, 3 times. That was once a month, you know, and they gave me a bunch of, you know, vocabulary, how to express themselves to the customers,
Yeah.
how to express themselves to customers with politeness, right? So that was pretty much based on this. And I would, you know, that's first time I made, like, I had to use diversity, you know, like in the classroom, you know, I had to uh,
You kind of like differentiate
differentiate my
what you're doing, right?
Yeah, so I had to, I was forced to because no any other choices. I remember as well, I did another one in a hospital, and that was not much about special term in English. It was just for them to have an English corner in a hospital. And that was pretty much based on the same, hospitality. How that was I think there was the number of the hospital number 2 in Xi'an.
Mm.
I did like some kind of trainings like that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so it's all about, I think it's vocabulary, vocabulary, of course, and hospitality. It all depends, like you said very well, it's like what you need me for.
Yeah.
That's very important.
So, I mean, you've got business English, you've got hospitality English. I was contacted by a school once in China I had to teach China Eastern, the airline,
Oh,
and I went
oh
along
yeah.
to. It was really cool. I taught them for 2 weeks. They had to pass something called ICAO level 4, which is basically the international standard for. Because airlines around the world, they use English, and it's a good reason for that, because planes go here and there and they need to be able to talk together. So English is the lingua franca. So they had to pass ICAO level 4. And there's a few cabin crew and stuff in there that were mainly the maintenance staff. So they were like, the ones fixing the planes, checking they're okay, and then they could take off. And
Yeah.
it's the same thing, they needed, I said, what do you need? And we did like a needs, this is the important thing. You need to do a needs analysis before you take on any business student. What do they need? What are they going to be using English for? What kind of industry are they working in? What level are they? What can they do already? Which direction are we going to go in? Because these companies, they do have a budget. They often have a budget for English training, but they can't waste it. They can't, if it's wasted, you're not going to get hired again. They might even have their budget pulled for learning English altogether if you mess it up. So you need to do a needs analysis. So my advice for anyone about to teach business, just go onto Google and put in like business English needs analysis sheets, and you can PDFs, just download them. Before you take on the class, you can email them to the client, say, look, what do you need? What would you like me to do with your classes? And then you can start thinking about it, and then you can see their level as well. So how you can pitch your classes, Yeah, very important. Needs analysis.
Great. I got a question on Instagram from Flavia Elizabeth, who's asking, hello, nice to meet you. I'm Flavia. I have a question, if you don't mind. What would be the progression in the content that you learn in a basic business English course? Where do you start, pretty much, and where it ends?
Okay, so Mike, can you did you say the progression of the course, how the course should progress?
Yes. Yeah, she said the progression in the content that you learn in a basic business English course.
Yeah, so definitely the first step is like a needs analysis. That you need to understand. You need some kind of assessment at the beginning. So that's like your seed. That's like your little acorn, and you put the acorn in the ground and give it some water, give it some love, and then your course can grow. So your acorn is basically twofold: a needs analysis, so you can give that to the company, and you can because sometimes they don't know. Sometimes they don't really know what they want, or they know what they need. They've got an idea, it's kind of some idea. So I mean, you can send the needs analysis to them, and then see what comes back, but you need to discuss it as well, because maybe what they want, you know, maybe they're not sure what they want. The second thing is to work out their level. So you need some kind of assessment. So maybe you can, before the course begins, you can talk to them, you know, see what they can do, see their kind of mistakes, make notes about any particular language errors, things that you could be talking about. And then once you've got the information, Flavia, from your needs analysis and your assessment, you could put it together, put some thought into it, and then choose like a good textbook, or maybe just write the course yourself, you know, if you feel comfortable to. Maybe they've only got 4 weeks, but the textbook lasts for 3 months, so you maybe can just make your own. But just always have the needs of the learner firmly in the middle of your thinking. What do they need? And that's always your start point.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you have some, what are some creative activities that you've used to help students practice business English?
Right. So I like to use the whole of my learning space. So not only the board, because I mean, the board is, we talked about this before in previous live streams, it's really important. Your board is super important, but you've got more space. You've got desks, you've got the chairs, you can move things around, you can stand people up, you can move them around. You've got 4 walls, right? So you've got more space.
Exactly, yeah.
So quite often I might put up, for example, I might print out on A4 or on A3 some business phrases, and then on the other wall I might have photographs, printed photographs of like different situations, and students have to work in pairs, and they have to go and look at the photos and look at the phrases, and then maybe move the phrase and bring it from one side of the room to the other, stick it next to the correct photo. Often that can be quite funny. You can like throw in a few funny photos or whatever in there, you know, bring humor into your business English courses. It doesn't always have to be corporate and serious all the time. Everyone likes, you know, a good time. And then once you've got your language on the photo correctly, you can put students into groups on how to use that now, how to use that in a real business situation. Another activity I did, which is really good for listening, the company I was in had different rooms, and they had internal phones. You know, like if you phone up the company, the extension number, so you dial the number, then put in the extension number, and then the phone in that office rings, right? So
yeah,
I put groups in different rooms, and they had to receive a phone call based on this kind of maybe a complaint. So one customer was angry with the quality of with the product. They were an important customer. They were unhappy, and they want to continue working with the company, but you know, they want something. They're not impressed. The company had to use English to listen to the complaint, and then find a middle ground. But that was all through listening. And it's much more difficult when you can't see someone's face to understand meaning, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So this is another kind of business English activity that I've done. It's really good for their listening. It's realistic. It's authentic. It's the kind of situation that they need to deal with. And then, so you give them a practice. It goes horribly wrong. You give them the language that they need, or they needed to have done a better job. So you give them the linguistic resource. They practice, then you do it again. And then next time it's improved. You give them feedback, and maybe you do it a third time, And then the third time, you know, they hit it out of the park, and it's a really good business English activity.
It sounds like fun because you know you can practice, like you said. People are in different rooms, and you gotta use. You know, they gotta. It's very interesting. They have to practice through the phone because obviously your voice is different
Yeah,
through a phone, right? So it's a very, very good practice, especially when you say some difficult words or words that sounds a little bit, you know, they is gonna make another sound maybe through the phone. So
yeah,
it's yeah, especially when, you know, planes to planes when they communicate to each other. Even
yeah,
me in English, I cannot, you know, even if it's French, you know, it's like you don't get it, you know, it's like
yeah,
what the hell?
yeah.
You know,
And
it's
these are real. These are the kind of activities that perhaps these students have never done before. You know, they were Chinese students. They probably learned English for their Gaokao, like mainly reading and writing is the answer A, B, C, or D. They didn't really do much listening. They didn't do much speaking. And they've had 5 or 6
yeah,
years of not using English. And then they have to have these meetings with their American partners and are failing, you know, through no fault of their own. It's just their background. So
yeah.
yeah, yeah. And another fun activity I did. Do you know like Chinese whispers, where you kind of like listen to you and then you pass the message down the line. It gets to the end and
Oh yeah,
is wrong, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
I got students in a really kind of quite a long line with the space in between,
yeah.
but they had to use their mobile phones. So I would give one student the message, then they had to listen to the message and then tell their partner. The partner just typed the message into like, you know, WhatsApp or Messenger or WeChat or whatever. Typed it in. So then you're getting mistakes with spelling, you're getting mistakes with grammar. Then I had to show the message
Yeah.
to the partner, and then they had to read it. So using reading skills as well. Then I had to tell the message to the next person, who then had to type it. That was a cool thing to do as well, you know.
Yeah.
You can have fun in business classes. It doesn't have to be serious all of the time. It needn't be.
True, because when you hear business English, it sounds like, wow, that's serious.
Yeah, yeah,
And yeah, and hearing all your different activities sounds like really fun, really, really interesting.
yeah. The main thing, like I always say as a teacher, just be creative. I really think that's the biggest skill that you can have. And some people are more creative than others, but the thing is, what we have now, we have each other. So maybe, you know, your creative juices aren't firing that day. It's really normal. We're tired, we're people, we can't think of new ideas. Just jump online, get some business English ideas, and then go into the business space and just give it a try, you know.
True, exactly. And another question, just with your experience, how do you handle when a student is struggling with business English vocabulary or even concepts?
Ah, that's a really good question. And it just made me think of something. Because and it's going to happen. It's going to happen, but
Yes.
particularly with business English, there is a situation that you're going to find which is different to if you teach at a university. When you're with your peers or in a high school, and it's this. When I finished with a pharmaceutical company, I went to go to work with a chip maker. They were making computer chips.
Uh,
And the boss was in the classroom, and he was, you know, really senior, but his English was the worst.
oh
So,
man.
see what I mean? Like, you know, like in China, this is a big problem. And, you know,
Yeah, I can understand that.
yeah, you know, like he doesn't, he doesn't want to lose face in front of everybody. You know,
Of course.
it's a really delicate situation, right? So I think you just have to break down the barriers. Just break down the barriers and just make them feel comfortable. It's okay to make mistakes. Just let the manager go, okay, yeah, you're the manager, you really know what you're doing. But for English, we're all in the same boat here, we're all at the same level. We're all here to help each other. So that was an important consideration as well. How to make your student not feel embarrassed. And it's going to happen, particularly in a business English situation. Normally, the more senior people are the older people that have been with the company for longer. They haven't been to school for ages, you know, they haven't learned any English for ages. And so it's likely that their English isn't as good. So you have to be culturally aware. That's something all TEFL teachers must be. You must be very, very culturally aware, not to embarrass these people. You know, that's the fastest way to lose your business English class. If the manager is embarrassed, that you're not going to be coming back. So just take them really carefully. Lots of modeling. So you're modeling the language, you're doing the pronunciation really well. Take it really, really slowly. Start first with the stronger students so that they can see the language in use, rather than picking the lowest person or perhaps the boss first to go first. It's going to make a big mess of it. It's going to be embarrassed. Problem. So model slowly. Choose partners that you know are going to be more comfortable doing it, and then give them the opportunity, or partner them up. So rather than practicing in a whole class situation with lots of eyes on the boss or whatever, split them up, move the tables and chairs around so everyone's got space, and then you can partner them up together. Walk around the room, listen, give help, give one-to-one feedback. Then when they're more comfortable, bring the twos together into a four. So then you've got lots of groups of four now, or lots of groups of three. And then finally, once they've had tons of practice, you can bring them together in one group, and then they've got a better chance of success. Yeah. Hey,
Great. That's awesome. That's awesome sharing. Thank you so much for sharing all these good, it's golden.
Yeah, I really missed it. I haven't taught business English for quite a few years now, you know. But I always enjoyed it. I always enjoyed different teaching, you know, so I could go from like a kindergarten in the morning and just do cool craft stuff, making cool things. In the afternoon, I'll be teaching business English. I've always been comfortable, you know. Yeah.
And then sometimes in business English, you arrive and say, "Let's do a peel banana."
Yeah. Like, and they'll surprise you, they'll start doing it, you know. Yeah. Well,
No, but that's for you know, warm up are very important, even if in a business class. Make it, you know, because people arrive in the classroom and everybody is tired, but maybe not a peeled banana, but making fun is very important, you know, making them active, moving. And
yeah.
then it's always good to do a little like physical, you know, not only speaking, but doing actions. It's always good for the body. That wakes everybody up and get ready for English, for learning English.
Yeah. Well, I mean, by doing a warm up, you're doing two things. Like for business English for companies. Like number one, you're warming up as normal. You know, maybe you go to the company every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They haven't done any English. They're like, oh, it's English class again. Oh, how do you say that again? You know, they need their warmers are really important. But if you make it fun as well, you're bringing down the structure. So maybe, you know, the CEO is there that day, and all of the students are terrified They don't want to make a mistake. They don't want to open their mouth. They don't want to stand out and lose face. So you've got this structure, and by doing like a fun activity at the beginning of the class, everyone's talking to each other, everyone's relaxing, the CEO is laughing, your class is going to run way better. Like, so definitely do a warm-up for business as well.
Great. That's useful tips. Thank you so much. And so do you have any resources or books, I mean, that to recommend for teaching business English? I think you said a name before. What was the book name again?
A really quite good one is Market Leader. Market Leader.
Yeah.
Market Leader.
Market Leader.
Market Leader, yeah, that's a really good one. They've been going for years. They update, you know, these books have to update because, you know, now we've got AI, we've got ChatGPT, you know,
Yes.
the world changes, business keeps changing. So these books, they have to be current, otherwise they're going to lose credibility. So they update all of the time. So Market Leader, and they've got book for A1, A2, and then you move up into proficiency. So you go into like you go up into B1, B2 on the Common European Framework for Reference, and then finally you go into C1 and C2, and they're all business activities. It's all around doing business, and they've got different situations. So you've got listening, and this is authentic listening, real kind of business topics, international travel, trade, rules and regulations, laws in different countries, just stuff like that. And it's all, you know, tiered. So if you've got a group of beginners, A1, it will be A1 structure language, you know, I can, would you like, you know, so it's got A1 structures, but using business vocabulary. So they're practicing those important A1 structures that they need, but using business context. So anyway, yeah, Market Leader. One called One to One, but it's kind of like, it's spelt like this. I'm just putting into the chat box here.
Yeah, you can.
Not funny. Yeah.
On the live, guys, feel free to ask questions. What do you need? If you have any questions, we'll feel happy. We'll be happy to answer one, right?
Yeah. So that's one that I used. I had a business student. She was a lawyer, and she worked within a law firm, and she just wanted to improve her English. I think she wanted to go and study, you know, study her master's, or, you know, whatever she, you know, whatever reason she wanted to learn English, probably for a mixture of travel and business. So we did online classes, and I used one-to-one as the structure for my classes. You know, we just log on Zoom or you know, WeChat or whatever, and then we use that book as the basis for what we were doing, and just kind of mixed it in with general chat as well. So it had a structure, but it was a flexible structure. So, you know, we could talk about her work day, or, you know, her business plans. It may not be particularly that book for the day, but it didn't matter. But it was nicely focused for what she needed. Yeah.
Great. So that's the two books you recommend for teaching business English, which is Market Leader and 101.
Yeah, that's it. There's another, Cambridge do one as well. So Cambridge books are always really well written. They're written by, you know, they're written by experts in whatever field that they're doing. So it's Cambridge Business English Activities. And also there's one by Dorling Kindersley as well, by DK, English for Everyone, Business English. So
interesting.
Yeah, I've just found another one here. or you've got legal English, you've got meetings English, business English for projects. So you've got a really good range here that are available to you. But yeah, what I would say, before you pick your textbook, do your needs analysis and then do your assessment of the level, because there's no point picking a book and then paying all of the money and telling the company to buy that book if it doesn't meet their needs. So don't do it the wrong way around. Do your needs analysis first, do your assessment of your students. Thirdly, you can pick the textbook to make sure that you've got the right one.
Exactly. Tailored to students to see what they need.
That's it.
Students'
Yeah.
need is very important to know what they really need.
That's
And
critical.
that means, yeah. We've been in some cases here in China, because you never know. Sometimes, oh yeah, we need a teacher, yeah, and then your boss is just go there and you teach,
Yeah,
English.
you go there and teach. Just speak English. Speak English. Like,
Yeah,
yeah. Thanks.
just like
No problem. Yeah.
yeah. So sometimes especially in Xi'an, you got to be someone very open-minded and being like, yeah, well, you know what? Yeah, I'll go, no problem. And then you're like, why I accepted the job?
Yeah.
And
Well,
then, it's always difficult. But, it's part of the experience. So after that, when someone puts you in whatever the room, whatever you're going to be teaching, at least you're going to know what to do the first day.
yeah,
You're going to use you know, it's often a one-man show, especially in China.
that's it. You've just got to.
I mean,
I think it's part of what who TEFL teachers are. Who are we? We're the kind of people who are prepared to go abroad, put everything in a suitcase and just go. We're the risk
yeah,
of the world, right? And so we pitch up in China or in wherever you're teaching. We pitch up.
exactly.
We want to explore the world, and we are happy to meet new people. So we're the kind of, this is who we are. This is what we do. So going into a business environment to teach English, it may be daunting at first, but it's part of the experience, the wonderful life that TEFL teachers have. And I've always believed that,
Me too. I'm on the same line with you. That's being an ESL teacher, whatever. Being a teacher in another country is it's another job. Because, like you said, even in business English, you have to face those cultural backgrounds, like giving a business card with two hands.
Yeah.
Or I remember I used to help one of a wineyard he wanted to sell his French wine in China, and he was shocked when how they would drink during the business dinner.
Yeah.
He said, I never had baijiu. And
Ooh.
then they were asking me to drink. And then he was like, then after we went to the KTV, I never been to a KTV. Yeah. And then I'm not going to tell the rest of the story, but
Yeah.
that's China. The way to do
Yeah.
business is mostly around a
And it's
good
essential.
table, a good fest, a
It's
dinner. Yes,
It's essential. If you're
it's
coming
traditional.
to do
Yeah,
business and you don't want to do the dinner and you don't want to drink baijiu, you probably won't get the deal.
exactly.
It's a fact.
Thought that,
It's essential.
yeah. Yeah, I thought that Chinese people, they know we don't do business like that. So, but they also like to push it, They also like to, you don't like, you do your business. You are in China, obviously.
Yeah.
You're coming, so you gotta, but
When in
when they're
Rome,
gonna go abroad, it's gonna be the same, No KTVs, no
yeah.
baijiu.
Well, this is where it comes down to cultural awareness and cultural understanding. And it's when you're teaching business, whether it's in Brazil, whether it's in Poland, wherever you're teaching English, You need to be
Exactly.
aware of local norms, customs, and understand that. You know, same thing. I had like a dinner, in China. We had the little glasses of baijiu. Baijiu, for anyone who's not from China, it's like really strong alcohol, clear,
Oh yeah.
blow your head off. You know,
50,
yeah,
52, 52 degrees up.
minimum.
Yeah.
And then you fill up. But this is another thing. If you're chinking glasses, you have to lower your glass and make, if someone's
Yes.
older than you or more senior, you must make sure that their glass is higher. I didn't know that.
Yes.
I had some
True.
boss, you know. And
I
so
know it's funny because they always go down, down, down,
yeah,
and then you get a, the elder person would push your hand up, so that's a
yeah,
good sign too.
yeah. But he understands that you know that he knows that you know that he knows, you know, and it's
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Very, I miss it very much. But yeah, if you're
yeah.
a business teacher, my biggest tips are be culturally aware, do your needs analysis and your assessment, choose your textbook, keep it light-hearted, keep it on point, and always think about their needs. Keep their needs, like we said, as center of your thinking all of the time.
Great. Thank you very much too for your expertise, and I think we can find, of course, all these tips about business English in your TEFL course, right?
Yeah, so in my TESOL course, we talk about different. Actually, it's in Unit 1. It's in the first unit straight away. The different things, the different avenues that you can go to. I think we would come back to it as well in Unit 18 on professional development. The different avenues you can go into: business English, hospitality, aviation English, the different choices that are open to you once you get a bit more experience under your belt. You can learn all about that on the TESOL course.
Great. Thank you so much. So feel free to go and check out Stuart Allen TEFL Lemon YouTube channel, as well as his 180 hours TEFL course, higher certificate. It's a level 4 certification, like as Stu always say, a level 6 is a bachelor degree, right?
That's right. Yeah. So it's like level
So
TEFL certificates are level 3. 99% of TEFL certificates are level 3. It's a level 4, so it's more understanding. You go into the job with a better qualification.
and you keep updating it.
Yeah. Just the other day, I did an interview with someone about cultural understanding. Quite
Oh,
ironic.
that's interesting.
Yeah, and so that interview went into Unit 20 on the course, which is about cultural awareness. So students on the TESOL course will be able to study the stuff, but plus watch this video with this. He's a professor at the University of Toronto. So
Okay.
yeah, really your authoritative point of view, and it becomes part of your learning.
Great. So the interview is on your YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, so yeah, you can go ahead and in YouTube just put in TEFL Lemon, and you can there you
Right
go,
here.
do Scanaway, and please subscribe. I don't have many subscribers. I kind of wish I had more.
That's incredible. You should have like 1 million.
Yeah, I wish.
You
Yeah.
should have 1 million. Man, you've been doing so much for the teachers in China and the teachers from all around the world. And I know that your 50 hours is free TEFL course is still on, right?
Yeah. So if you want to kind of see what TEFL Lemon is like and get a 50-hour certificate, it's free. So yeah, you can. Let me try and find a link. I may have the link somewhere.
Yes, because I
So
don't have it.
yeah, let me try and find it. So there we go.
All good.
I found it already.
So
Yeah.
feel free. Let me check on Instagram if you guys have questions. We had is there? Are there any class for teachers to teach business English? Mrs. was that Eslami who was asking, are there any class for teachers to teach business English? I mean, class, maybe courses? Are there
Yeah,
special
there
classes? I
are.
mean,
Yeah, there are. You can do like small micro courses, like it's not like 120 hours, 180 hours, or anything like that. It's normally like 20 hours or 50 hours or 5 hours, and it would just basically talk about approaches to teaching business English. But to be honest, everything covered in those courses we've just covered on this live stream. So just watch this live stream
yeah.
once or twice, and you'll have some really great ideas. But yeah, there are a few micro courses.
Right. Thank you so much, Stu, for your time. Obviously, Sharina couldn't make it today. You know, personal reasons. Sometimes it happens, emergency at the last time. We faced this before. You know,
Yeah,
it's all good.
we're
We
always
understand.
okay.
Right.
Yeah, we're always okay.
Thank you.
Cheers, bud.
Yeah. Thank you for your expertise, Stuart. And well, maybe mid at the end of the month because you're gonna go on a holiday in Turkey.
Like
Maybe
in
it's
5
a
days'
secret.
time, I'm in Turkey, so I'm going to be on the beach with
Yeah,
cold beer in my
awesome.
hand. Hopefully, I haven't had a holiday for about 18 months, so I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah.
Great. Thanks. Wish you have a good time with the family there. And we keep in touch to see you next in the live. There's a live that we gonna talk about. We can say a little bit, like do a little, introduction, maybe. Well, hopefully, is gonna be a live which is inclusive teachers, right?
Oh
Teaching.
yes. So actually, the guy that I interviewed, his name is Tyson Seaburn. He's the guy that I talked about for Unit 20 in my course. He is a lecturer at the University of Toronto, and he is the voice for inclusive materials. Very, very passionate. An amazing guy. He's got an amazing story to tell. He started off as a TEFL teacher in Korea, in South Korea, and yeah, he moved around. He's a published author, very, very authoritative, very open, and that will be a great live. So please, anybody who is interested in inclusivity within TEFL, please be there. It's going to be a big one.
Yeah, it should be around the end of June. So
Yeah.
remember to subscribe wherever you are on MixOMSL or TEFL Lemon. Subscribe and give some likes to help the channel so that we can keep on keeping the good vibes on the channel. Thank you, Stu. Wish you a happy holiday.
Cheers, Mike. Yeah,
And
everybody.
see you very soon. Thank you, everyone. Remember, the ESL live stream, the teachers live stream, every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Beijing time. I'll see you very soon. We will see you soon in a live at the end of this June, maybe. But before, I'll see you in some special live, maybe with AI. I give you some little, it's important to understand this tool, to use it, to make it a good use. So I'll share it, what I've been doing with this. And let's hear that little song. Teachers, listen up. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Teachers, gather all around. ESL live stream is here. hitting solid ground. Mike and Stu, the dynamic duo inside, helping teachers with English day and night. With their smooth vocals and their peaceful flow, they spread good vibes everywhere they go. From Kingston to Tokyo, they're making it known. English class just got a brand new tone. ESL live stream, helping you teach with ease. Mike and Stu, bringing that reggae breeze. Soulful vocals, taking you to paradise. Learning English has never felt so nice.